Ladies and gentlemen, hello. We are back here in the Call of Duty League. We're going to dive straight into the social soundboard presented by Astro. And would you look at this? Love is truly in the air as Paul and Venom, former teammates, we finally did it. See you in the match, brothers, says Venom. Chance, we need a little bit of context here for those at home who don't know. Of course, PaulEhx is of the Ravens now. He's brought them some success in their first matchup. And Venom, we will see him debut in this very matchup for the LA Thieves. But bro, give me a little bit of background to Paul and Venom's, seemingly fresh romance.
Well, I think these guys, like everybody knows, they teamed together on Western and they had quite a bit of success together, but it goes deeper than that. Like Venom specifically popped up towards the tail end of World War II, playing your S&D tournaments, starting to work your way up through the teammates. And one of the first guys where he really started to find success was with PaulEhx in Black Ops 4. And it's the coolest thing, man. You got your teammates, you're working your way up through the amateur scene, and when they finally make it, they end up making it together. And for Venom's first match, he gets to play against one of his boys, which, frankly, I mean, just for smack talk purposes, you gotta make sure you get that win. If you lose in your first match to one of the guys you played with, you will never hear the end of it from that guy. So really, for both of them, that is the importance of this match, just for smack talk reasons.
We love it. If that above all else, we love it. Well, we're as excited as you are, friends, to get into this game. So, without too much flapping of these gums, let's put our hands together and welcome our first team, the London Royal Ravens.
Once he gets up top, and frankly, he has no intention of slowing down. Alex, though, with the angles, once again. The Ravens wins a big one from across the pond.
The London Royal Ravens will be the second time we've seen them play so far in the league with PaulEhx, and I believe I'm 100% correct in these stats, but I think they're 1-0 so far. Chance, is that correct?
That is correct. They got the 3-0 over Los Angeles Guerrillas last time, just like last week when they played them. And I think more importantly for this team, they got a search and destroy win as well. Obviously one of the biggest focus points for the squad. So PaulEhx and Zedman might have a little bit of the magic that the team needs.
Well, we'll see how they go. Again, of course, I am joking. They're not actually 1-0, but Paul said it last week when they picked up, this week when they picked up their victory. They were like, we're 1-0 now. We're going to put the previous record behind us. And, well, things are looking good so far. But can they continue to find the pace against their next opponents? They've taken down one side of the Los Angeles part of the CDL. Can they take down the other? Ladies and gentlemen, the LA Thieves.
One shot for the kill, the breeze cut freeze up, straight shot for the kill, the talking. Taking over pieces and shares of all sky high, check the movement is here, yeah. It's one heart, one shot, now the future is yours, go! Yeah, it's one heart, one shot, now the future is yours, go!
The LA Thieves now with a brand new look for the roster. We welcome Venom to the Call of Duty League. Kenny, TJ and Slasher being the core of the squad remaining over, but we welcome Carlos Hernandez into the league and we'll see what he can bring. Chance. All the rookies have had, I want to say, memorable debuts. Everyone's had a good run of things. We saw Paul last week. We saw amazing stuff out of Standy yesterday. I mean, everyone's having their swing of things. Insight when you go back. These newcomers to the league all looking fine. Will Venom be the same?
I mean, that is a great question, because I will say this is a tough team, I would say, to try to be the shining light on, because everyone is, it's just a stacked roster. Everyone is talented, and it's not like Thieves were like super down in the dumps, unable to get wins, and that's why they're making the change. They're making the change because they want to win. Like, they were already one of the stronger teams in the league, and they're looking for Venom to be sort of that guy to help put them over the edge. They couldn't quite attain that gold. That's what they're going to be going for. And we get to see the kid and how he can play and see what kind of performances he can bring. And I think more importantly, see how he melds with the team, see how his communication is, and see if they can smooth out some of the issues that they've had. If they can do that, the kid we know is talented. You just got to see where the team can make it land.
Let's see what they have to do to bring home that victory. Now let's take a quick look at our game fuel keys to victory. We'll be touching upon LA Thieves first. Shots, you brought up a point there, man. We've got a whole new player in the roster. What do the Thieves need to do?
I mean, again, the communication is the focus point in my mind. Even from some of the Astro Gaming listen-ins we've had in the team, there are moments when it's great, it's professional, it is calm, it's exactly what you want. And then there's moments where it's chaotic, and in my mind, there's no way every player on the team can understand what was going on from every point of view. So many different people shot calling, so I'm looking for Venom just to be that calm voice, just feed out the information he has and let his teammates do the shot calling. And as long as their communication is on point, I think for the Thieves, it's really just these clutch moments that they've had issues with. It's the getting reverse sweep by New York. It's closing out the final moments of the hard point. It's these small little tweaks that if they can adjust in those moments, they're going to be on fire.
Well, mate, you've just finished your point now, but straight into the London Royal Ravens game fuel keys to victory. You said feed off the plays from Zed, the 1.5D in the win versus LAG first.
Yeah, and just to go to the second one for the keep the rhythm going in S&D, they were at the bottom of the league in search and destroy. Since they've made these roster changes, well, they at least beat Guerrillas, so they got to let that ride. But to touch on Zed, I'm actually stealing this from something Parasite was talking about on the podcast. Obviously, Parasite teamed with this team very briefly, but one thing he mentioned was how good of a teammate Zed actually is. Like, Miles, we play league play. Occasionally you get those teammates that they're just somewhere where you don't know what's going on. They screw up the timings and it's just confusing. Zed has that play style, but what he brings to the table is he's feeding you information constantly. He's making these adjustments on the map, forcing different things to happen and setting his teammates up constantly with the information. He's doing it in respawn, he's doing it in search. So you got to keep feeding off those plays. And I'd say, well, Dylan is the player I'm looking at to have the most success now that Zed is that sub-duo.
Yeah, this is going to be an absolute war for the submachine guns going into this series, but we will see now what the series will look like. We've done our keys. Let's have a quick look at our maps and most shots. I cannot wait to see exactly where we're going. Starting this one off on Checkmate. We're going to be going to Raid after that. Then we're going to rebound, boomerang, if you will, back into Checkmate, Moscow, and Miami to close things out. We did see Express get banned there from LA Thieves, so we won't be going there. LA Thieves also got rid of Apocalypse as well, so not a DLC map if I've ever seen one. Not a DLC team either, Chance, by the looks of things.
Well, I mean, we'll certainly get to look, but just to take it a little bit deeper into the series, should we get there? Obviously, the Moscow, the Thieves love playing on that map, but again, it is one where they've had some failures towards the very final moments of the game. Even to take that further for London, well, Miami might be a great map for them. That's the S&D map they won first time with PaulEhx. I think he dropped a 2.0 KD while it was happening, and even Zed was the playmaker on it. So a couple fresh looks at the front half, but the back half will have a bit more intel as to what's going on.
Quick scope now brought to you by Scuff, and again this tells a very, very different story to what we may expect from this series based on the stats so far. Of course, LA Thieves winning across the board there. I mean, Ravens have only managed to get one big series win so far, again with the addition of Paul, looking to find a few more, but this obviously tells a very different tale, Chance. I mean, this is a squad for the Ravens who have been struggling more than anything. But back over to the social soundboard powered by Astro, and it's Temp, the former player of the LA Thieves, says best of luck to the team, wish it could have went better. And I think we all feel the same way for Temp. He's obviously an electric player, one of the most exciting players to watch in the league. I mean, I'm a lifelong fan of Donny Temp, always will be, but something just did not work with that squad. Same can be said for a lot of these players when we see team changes happen. I mean, it just doesn't work out. I mean, on paper it might sound great, but when you actually manage to get it into the pixels, it ain't quite the same. We are almost ready to get into this one, friends. LA Thieves going up against the London Royal Ravens. This should be, honestly, Charles, I think a very exciting series. There's a lot of eyes on this one. Again, it's the battle of the rookies. It's PaulEhx versus Venom. It's friends turned frenemies into this one. The vibes are at an all-time high, I think, for London. I got a piece of advice from Shane. I said, Shane, what do you guys like to do before matches? And he says that basically everyone in the squad just says to each other, don't be So that's the best piece of advice we could possibly be giving any of these players. And if they can keep up to that chance, I mean, who knows, mate? The sky's the limit.
I mean, honestly, you know, some of the best coaching advice I think I've heard, that is something I'm sure teams will take notes on and make those adjustments, but could not be said any better. Frankly, for the Ravens team, I know they sort of joked about it before. I really hope when we start going to listen-ins that PaulEhx just starts speaking with the British accent. Just throw one into the mix, try to meld yourself within the team. It might be annoying for them, but I don't know. Personally, I think it'd be hilarious in the best way to get the vibes flowing, you know?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thieves already getting ready to get this one underway. Everyone looks pumped. We've seen the fist bumps come out. We will be starting this game in a matter of moments. Ladies and gentlemen, Second week of this major is about to get going. And we're going to start this one off on Checkmate. And again, for those of you just joining us, it's the first match of the day. We've got 2 today. We'll, of course, be seeing NYSL play LAG later on. But until then, we'll be treated to the London Royal Ravens going up against the Los Angeles Thieves. And this chance should be a fun one.
Fun one indeed. I mean, again, you get everything you want. I mean, 2 fresh looks for a team, right? You make the roster change on the Ravens, but they immediately kick off with some success. And this is one of the better teams to find the opportunity to prove that you're much better in the standings than the league that you're going to show. Get some CDL points. Nice little win under your belt. And of course, PaulEhx, well, he's got A Street while everyone else working their way towards the hard point.
Here we go, straight to the hard point. We talked about Zed's communication, the way he plays, how valuable his intel he passes onwards to his squad is. Let's see if I'll find a bit more here. This early contest, quite typical as you'll see here on Checkmate again. Easy to not let anyone get that point. Venom, you see him backed up towards the end of the plane. It's going to be a nice opening start here for the Ravens. Those crucial kills, get those players off the point. Zed finds another one. And we've just stayed on the man Zed for quite some time, and he's done a great bit of work to allow this early 20 seconds to go the way of London.
Respectable stuff. This is pretty much what you want. If you're starting off on the bad side, it is make sure you contest the hill time. And if you ever get the opportunity to flip, well, you certainly take it. That's what they're looking for now. Dylan trying to apply that pressure from the back of the plane. And maybe just the movement, the finesse. He's able to take down TJ. And you see London, they're starting to work their way up the map. And Dylan again on a tear. Finding quite a few of these kills. Man is on a 4 spree.
4 in a row. He's going to run across Slasher now. And the Diamondcon won't do him much good there. But we're seeing London now encroach on the hard point. Thieves at the back, gonna spread out, try to hold this defensive position. It's a great throw from TJ, but not enough to get Dylan there. So you've still got 2 members of the Ravens far forward. 2 more hitting the hard point. The trades are working out, and Dylan's on a 6 spree. The man has not slowed down. Here comes number 7. Not a problem. Seany's gonna get it done, and the Ravens have started this map off with a flurry of activity.
And I'm telling you, man, that teamwork with Zed was crucial. It was a couple hero plays by himself, but once they got around NASA, Zed was just the man to be next to Dylan and put this man in good positions. You see, though, he's thinking about the score streaks. They never quite was able to solidify those back spawns. And he knows he just wants to bait out his teammates. Secure that artillery, potentially the cruise. It'll be good long term. And if you're going to play this heavy for the kills, you got to be sure that you get them.
It's been a great start from London off the rip. I would love to have a quick listen in with the LA Thieves and see how they're doing. So, without further ado, it's time for an Astro Gaming listen in with Los Angeles Thieves.
I'm absolutely left.
Back on you.
Come. I'm absolutely back.
Right. Yo, I'm out of pinch plane.
Alright, go ahead.
Yo, he jumped on plane, I'm pretty sure.
That's all you. I'm front B2.
Yo, they're steps. Yo, they're playing steps. Zed.
And on me. Alright. Top plane, bro.
Low right,
Shawnee
done.
2 top plane. Top plane. Yep. I spawn back B2.
I spawn back B2.
Alright. Here, Paul. One shot.
Wait, we go bottom right.
Lego.
Watch it left. I needed the hill.
Low A. Low A.
Exit door, right.
Alright. Get a good
Alright, all good. Relax. Get playing.
That's one. Top right, in plane, PaulEhx one shot.
I don't see him peeking. Yo, I'm gonna wrap
Low right,
plane. I'm coming up, you teach.
One shot there.
P4 Zed. I'm not close right.
Low right. I'm down this guy.
These are close right hot.
There's that P4 too.
Oh,
no, low right.
Paul's and Shawnee new. Nice.
Shawney's on new.
Yo, Paul.
Shawnee dead. Alright, mark the spawn. Yep. I got it. They are
trying to go top lane now.
I need a new. Low plane.
I'm holding low right. I'm holding low right.
Well, there we go, Chance. LA Thieves comms. We heard one of the keywords that stuck out to me was, okay, guys, relax there from Slasher. Relax.
I mean, it's pretty good, right? You get a little bit of that, and I think even the small talk pretty on point. People calling out nades, trophy locations, every little detail. I think maybe one thing we didn't really hear is like the overall game plan. Here's where we're going to break from, this and that. But hey, if the team's well practiced, they know what's going on anyway. You're going to be setting yourself up for a nice little comeback as you see Thieves only down by 30. Have all the hill control in the world.
Yeah, Ravens have yet to find anything since that last hard point. Still Thieves in control. 25 seconds remaining on this one here by the alleyway. Dylan trying to make his approach. Entry kill on point. Can't get it. There was TJ in the corner. Nice bit of teamwork comes through. Over to Zed now underneath the plane. Try to find these angles. But again, for now, this has been a fantastic hold from LA Thieves. They have managed to pull this game back after what was a slow start. As we rotate over now towards that far south side of the map. This is an open point. Get them trophies down, and we've got London in position early on, Chance. Here comes the break from the Thieves.
In London, honestly, the pressure's kind of on. They're trying to hold this hill from the front. Seany right now just completely by himself in the hill. And, well, obviously you see Thieves getting the split spawns as well. If the players in the back die, that would be Venom and Slasher. If they fall, London might start to run away with the game, but the kills come through for Thieves. They take their time, they get the pinch, and more importantly, the young man, he might be 4-11, but playing his life in that moment was crucial. Job well done.
Here we go. We're still on board with Venom at the back line. Bags in a Seany, just trying to hold this position down. It's a nice big first win. Zed with the immediate trade. Here comes the push from London. 2 players through the plane side, and that's a big kill from Zed on the back. So through the computers they go. Is the contest. LA Thieves have to flush Zed off the point. Here come the remaining members of London. And on the other side of this box, it is going to be Dylan. And Dylan still keeping this run going. 16-9 overall for him. London with a late flip. Not really a huge amount of hardpoint time to be grabbed. You're going to see Thieves top control of the map. They've got plane. They're looking fantastic as they go in towards the next set of rotations. We've had a full sweep. And so far, it's a very close hardpoint game as we now go into our next set. The contest is up. Kenny now making his approach. TJ from the rear as well. It looks like a clean break from the Thieves, and that is exactly what it is.
Exactly what it is, and just good timing on the flank again. He's talking about the communication needs to be on point. You see, as soon as Kenny's working his way in towards the actual hill, well, that's when TJ's going on the flank. So teamwork on point, gun skill maybe there as well. Looks like Thieves actually going to get wiped out, but good news for them, they still have the spawns, and well, contest time is all they need. TJ though, maybe getting pressured out. PaulEhx hunting him down. Frankly, for London Royal Ravens, well, this has been one of the hills where they've had the most success, but you see the pinch again, and he going on the flank, even with the ARs inside the hill. Once again, wiping him out, setting yourself up for new. Staying down 15, this is an opportunity for the Thieves. Try to run away with that score. You get this set up for new, you get the pressure on the hills where you want it. You see all those ARs locking down the Tetris side of things, but PaulEhx finds his way through. Slasher caught with his pants down. TJ gets the gunny, and PaulEhx by himself walks in, takes the hill from him, and trying to run up that lead.
There's only 1 player left now for LA Thieves in the back line. It is going to be the newcomer Venom. Seany's eyes on, tags are there. Will it be Paul to get the kill? No, Seany's going to clean it up. So that's the back safe now. You have to turn eyes to the front. Seany now trophy in position. TJ's trying to be the one to lead the charge. Slasher now backing him up, and Slasher, he and TJ finding their kills on the left side of the map. So that's an open lane to work with now. London still spawning deep in the top side of the map. Deep in the corners to the left of Paul. Here comes the push once again. It's on Paul in the hard point. Can't quite find a tag. Thieves winding up now for the big hit. Can they get the break done clean? No, Dylan makes his charge forward. Dylan finds 1, Dylan finds 2 and 3. The last player left on the point was TJ, and Seany's going to cut him down as well. A good hold from London. Thieves just took a little too long to get on the point.
And not only was PaulEhx just the hero being able to walk through the hill and get that break, but the spot Zed was playing in the back corner of the map, he stayed alive for 15, 20, 25 seconds. And again, he is just feeding the information, telling his teammates where to look. And well, you tell Dylan where to find the kills. You know he's going to go find all of them. Nice success right now for the Ravens, and Seany on point as well. It's 2-piece from him. You see the scrappy fight for this P3 hill, just back and forth. His ARs in the feed everywhere.
Everywhere, man. It's wild stuff. Still, London have a bit of a lead going into this next one. We're going to see LA Thieves getting the final 30 seconds potentially. Not an easy hard point once again to grab and hold. You've been in league play. You've been on checkmate. You know you get shot from everywhere. But again, good comms all round. LA Thieves managed to get a chunk of that just before dipping out. Now over to the Ravens, trying to make the rotation. Kenny's in point. Nice shots from Kenny. The 2-piece comes his way. The shots are on, but the teamwork there from London will finally seal it out. TJ now down low. We've got bit of control once again. And Charles, we saw this before. This is that third hard point. Going into this one, fourth. This is exactly where we see Thieves win those rotations. They get a decent chunk, and it comes to a late break from London. Will we see the same here again?
Thieves right now in control of the hill, which is nice, but of course, with they're down by this much, a good hill here isn't quite good enough. They're going to want to flip these spawns as well. That's why you see a player like Seany just anchoring so hard on the back end, but the kills go their way. The break is through, and it is perfect at that. Clean 4 down, spawn trap accomplished. Frankly, for Ravens, they're going to have to drop the ball pretty massively to end up losing this game. And Zed, well, he knows it. Plays his life up in the top of the plane, buying his teammates so much time.
Oh, that's huge to stay alive. Re-challenging now. TJ's going to get the better of him. All wins one on the point there with the Krig. Nice bit of work, though. The Thieves do manage to catch the break. clear out their player in top lane, and now they're going to force these players back into the side of their spawn. They know full well they're going to be there. Venom going to lead the front line. Slasher making his charge. TJ's got the flank covered. This could be a great pinch here from the Thieves. The kills are in. The spawn flip is through, but oh boy, it's a messy one. And will it work out in the end? Because it looks like London have managed to get themselves back on point. Thieves have flipped out again, Chance. It is absolute pandemonium in the spawns.
Yeah, pandemonium, but you can see right now the full, complete lockdown setup from the Ravens. You get Zed watching the full flank, and well, that's where the Thieves are going to be pushing through. You try to go to top plane control. There was just no presence on the rotation from the Thieves to get anywhere near this new hardpoint. Frankly, well, we know how good of a money hill it can be. Ravens, they're just setting themselves up to try and win this game right here, right now.
They can get it done. See what Venom's got to say about it. Finds the first. A couple of teammates now trying to make their way forward. Shots in from Dylan at the back line. Kenny wins the one up the stairs. Down a Paul. Watching the flank. He going up against his old teammate. Toe to toe. Kenny gets some shots in as well. A lot of damage dealt, but not quite enough to slow the push. You manage to get Thieves on the point for a brief few moments. They won't be able to win it here. That's on the Ravens. A break is good. Some time is sweet. They have to think of the rotation as well. Zed, 27 and 20 overall. Playing his heart out. And again, Chance, final 10 seconds here will likely go the way of the Ravens, but we got back to the top plane for the third and final time in this map. London, they need less than 10 now for the win. Here we go.
Less than 10 for the win, and this is a hill that they have been strong on. Thieves are going to be in first, and it doesn't look like any pinches right now for the Ravens going to be set up. It is just Dylan working the wing and his teammates working the back, and you see the nades keeping him at bay. He's forced to back down, and again, no flanks coming through. They might just be set up for this contest time, and Venom inside the point on a 4 spree. Man's taking a long time to heat up, but this is the best time for him to get the job done.
Oh, here we go. Venom trying to get on it. Hold them back. Kenny and Slasher find their kills as well. Venom gets his done. That's a 5 spree. Start to turn this one around. Better late than never. No, Dylan lands it. He finds the kills. TJ manages to flush him out in the final seconds. And we still have the LA Thieves in control of the hard point. This is not over yet, Chance. London have just got a tiny bit of a run to make. And TJ, he lands a couple of shots. Kenny's going to be there for the trades. This game is not over. 2:30 now. And Shorty and Dylan, they break through the back lines of the plane. Venom manages to stay alive and keep the contest going. Oh my word, TJ lands the kill. Zed's on the point now as well. Eyes on the rotation. The game is not over just yet. LA Thieves could possibly steal this in the dying moments if they can hold this hard point. London, you've got to make the break now. You're about to see the lead change. Kenny manages to stay alive. Chance, what are we watching here? 5 seconds for the win now. LA Thieves, they're going to hold the line. Venom with the shots. The contest is there. Oh, they finally managed to land the kills. They get the players off. And the LA Thieves clutch up. What a start to the series. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. They did it.
I mean, London absolutely bottled that game. They threw it away. They had 18 and a half different opportunities to get the job done. It was what, the third to last hill, the P5 after the second set of rotations. Ravens could have closed it out on that hill. They had the full setup. They had the spawns. They had the map control, everything they want. Thieves found a way to make that scrappy. Then for the Ravens, you have the opportunity on P1. Take your time. Go for a route. Try to flip spawns. You don't need to win the game on this P1 hill. They tried to force it through repeatedly. Not only did you have Kenny going off the entire game with 6,700 damage, but even Venom, the young man on the squad, started out slow, but in the plane towards the end, goes on a 5 spree, I think it was, respawns, gets more kills. Thieves, that is as clutch as it could possibly be. And again, those are the moments that team has struggled with. When it comes down to the wire, they have not had a ton of success. That is the best possible situation for them to make that comeback on map.
We do have a replay of the last 20 seconds of that game, because you're right, Chance. I mean, London had it. They had 18 different opportunities maybe to break the break, to maybe get it done, but they trickled into the hard point one by one, one at a time. And already you're looking at that mini map on the other side. You've got LA Thieves in full control. You've got them on the next hard point. Mate, these final few moments, props to Venom for holding that left line.
I mean, he started out, what, like 4-11, 4-12, something along those lines. So triple negative at a point to turn that around and go nearly even. So it definitely had a nice turnaround, but really it was 45, 50 seconds before this that, again, Ravens, you had options. Either try to rotate around, take your time to set up a flank, just to flip those spawns for new, or to even pinch the hill. They could have done a lot of different things. Unfortunately, well, they didn't. Thieves picked them apart in the slaying category towards the end. Again, as far as wind in your sails go, well, now Thieves, They have all the momentum, and more importantly, probably got Venom just a little bit more comfortable.
Getting more comfortable, and make sure he's feeling good as we now roll into our next match of the series. Search and Destroy on Raid coming up. But first, we're going to throw this to a very quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere, friends. We've got plenty more Call of Duty coming your way. First series of the day, far from over. See you after the break.
Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G.
In a 1 versus 1 situation to keep his team alive, and is he going to jump the bomb? Diamondcon lands the shots at NYSL. They will complete the reverse sweep.
Oh, bro. Oh, whoa.
Absolute chaos there in the comms. What a series that truly was. We take a little bit of a look back at Tim over this season and his overall KDs there. Chances of us seeing him again in the CDL, I think pretty high, my friend.
I would absolutely say pretty high. I mean, maybe the KDs don't reflect it, but again, SMG player, at least at times, another mix and match with the flex, but stats don't always tell the full story. Everyone knows, and frankly, I think from a lot of coaches that Temp has had in the past, yes, he's a very motivated player, let's say, but every coach that I've ever heard talk about him talk about how smart of a player he actually is, so hopefully we get to see Temp later on, but of course, to modes for this series, we go to a Raid S&D next. I think one of the talking points we had, Miles, as well, the communication from Thieves. They got to fix it up for those clutch moments. Well, they did so in map number 1. Map number 2 on Raid, 1-3 record overall for the Thieves. This is what they're looking to improve upon. See if Venom can fulfill his slot in this team.
I think that's a lot of the conversation we'll be having about, you know, this is the kind of player that LA Thieves need for Search and Destroy. Someone that's willing to just make a play, make something big happen, and then you allow the rest of the squad, the old vets, to basically play those situations out in a calm and sensible way. You know, they know exactly what to do in these moments. They know how to make the right calls, but it's those openings. It's those wild starting moves. That's what you're looking to see now coming out of the LA Thieves. And we'll see if Venom's got it, mate. I'm very excited to get into this one. Off to Raid we go. Home of the LA Thieves. They're in the Hollywood Hills somewhere. I mean, I can only guess that. I'd love to see those paintings change, like little portraits of like Slasher and stuff, like the one in Garage there. Like get rid of the guy playing the saxophone and just like, I don't know, get nade shot on the wall there. That'd be quite fun. This is the trophy room, maybe? I don't know. I'm getting carried away now. But here we go, mate. Into the search. Venom, he is looking towards mid with a slow push in towards B, and there's 2 members over towards the A-bomb site. And London are getting a little antsy, and it's Dylan. It's Dylan. It's first blood Dylan. Nades up, looking for the second. And a nice aggressive start here from London.
Yeah, London just taking complete and utter map control. They've left over laundry side completely, but mid-map well in their possession, bedroom well in their possession. Now, of course, for the Ravens, they can just afford to let this bomb plant go down for free and just trust themselves in the 4v3 retake. Kenny may be able to spot a little bit of information, but this is not a fun spot to be in. You know that even if you plant the bomb, you're not in a good spot, and Ravens starting to make decisions, starting to work that flank. For Thieves, I mean, they're just taking a lot of time off this clock. You got Slasher shooting at ghosts. Not a fun spot for the Thieves.
Ravens now trying to make their way in towards that bomb site. There's not a lot of time left. They do have to make the play. PaulEhx gets a lot of tags in a Slasher, and that nade should finish it. And it does. Kenny finds one, but his teammates are getting dropped all around him. Last player left alive, Venom. He is being riddled with shots there from the 3 remaining members of London. They're not going to let him get out of that position alive, surely. Venom's making him work for it, though. Slip slides out. Almost takes Dylan with him. And, man, there is a spot in Valhalla for that young man. Either way, the Ravens, they take round 1.
And a good first round to give. That honestly looked a little bit like Thieves just sort of lost and confused, not too sure what to do. Like, they're slowly pushing out laundry, but you can see they had zero information. They're taking their time, even though nobody was home. And by the time they try to do anything, there's not enough time on the clock. They get swarmed on sight, and, well, the first blood hang off hugely, I'd say, for Dylan, who, well, starts off 3-0. As much as you could ask from the young man.
Can't complain. Slasher with the opening nades, a couple of tags, a lot of information gained here from the push on towards the B-bomb site. And honestly, Thieves have pinched in fast as well. You can see the 3 members lined up through pillars. They're fully aware of this one. Seany managed to find a delightful little pick through the brickwork there. And TJ answers straight back. So, even Stevens, 3 versus 3. Seany still watching the flank. The bomb carrier did die there, very close to the B-bomb site. So you can see London are going to have to recover and go for the grab. PaulEhx will be the one to do that. Slasher now slowly encroaching on the flank. 2 players from the front. TJ finds another lovely pick there with a Krig. Beautiful shots as the bomb goes down. Now it's a 2 versus 3. PaulEhx and Ved now make it a 2v2. Zed, sorry. It's TJ from top art position now, trying to make this work out. He and Slasher can make the move on towards the bomb. It looks like they may be able to go for the defuse, but Zed is going to repeat this. He's going to... Oh, guns up. Slasher finds it. Zed! Zed lands them both! What was that, Chance? How did he walk away with that win?
I mean, that's ridiculous. I think every single player in this lobby just died without shooting back. Slasher does not connect with the bullet. TJ, I think, only shoots a bullet, even though Zed just shot. So that is not a good look, I would say, on the trades there in the push from the Thieves. I mean, you got plenty of options all the time in the world to set up to make a play. And you just feed Zed, and, well, hungry boy, he goes on a 3 streak as well. See if he can continue that, but not a good look right now for the Thieves. Again, 1-3 on raid. Maybe a small example as to why.
Well, let's see what can happen now. Thieves back on offense. Oh boy. Dylan, he and Zed just ripped Kenny to pieces there in art. Turn him into a Jackson Pollock painting on the outside there, and now it's Slasher in the center of the ring. He has to keep his head on a swivel. Oh, nice bit of intel. Just a tag. Oh boy, PaulEhx though, good coverage. And TJ answer back on the trades here. Once again, back and forth. No, it's a lovely peach from Dylan that's thrown over the top. 4v2 now. Ravens, aggression, mounting. TJ in a bit of trouble there. Oh, he somehow manages to survive that fight. And Venom with the trades there. And PaulEhx manages to slide on through, finally get the kills. The trades were on point for London. And TJ, shenanigans in the bushes. But boy, Ravens looking aggressive.
Nice little plays from PaulEhx towards the end as well. Just the cleanup crew getting both those kills towards the tail end. But right now, this is Ravens picking them apart 1 by 1. These have not really had much to offer, even when they got the first blood just 2 rounds ago. I mean, maybe a similar situation we saw on the hard point where Ravens get off to a strong start. Thieves end up clutching up, but right now we're waiting to see that second half tail come to fruition. You can see this idea. That is a triple stack mid on defense, and TJ never going to be prepared for that. Great way to get the first blood. You got A control completely locked down, and Ravens, again, just sort of taking their time, doing whatever they want on the map.
Yeah, they're going to get that bomb down easy peasy. Seany's going to get the plant. Quick tag, slides away. You've got 1 player at least watching mid. And look at PaulEhx on the other side of the map. Just chilling, making sure no one makes their way through mid. Again, it's a joke. I know he's not AFK. He's watching the flank. Still, you've got the players now making their way on the point. Kenny stunned up. Surely the information gets passed on. Slasher making his way forward. A big aggressive kill on a Seany. Slasher, though, he will find maybe a few more. Shots are in. And the behind, it's going to be Venom once again. 1v2 situation now. Straight onto the bomb they go. The trades weren't bad. But, man, it is squeaky clean from the Ravens here on raid.
Squeaky clean, and I love the homework that they were able to do as well. I think towards the end, it's just nice kills from Zed, but more importantly, the trades were there. But it is all about that opening break in my mind. That triple stack for the late challenge mid-map. A lot of teams like to do it. Thieves is certainly on that list. Get a player into P5, try to get that mid-map control. you get there late on the offensive side of things, so you have to take your time it perfectly, get that triple challenge, get that first blood. Play the round perfectly after that. Zed, by the way, 7-2. Having himself a nice little game so far.
Can't complain at all for Zed. 4 spree right now. We saw Dylan's be the one starting the things off for the Ravens, but Zed may be the one to finish it. 4-0 so far. EJ, he envenomed towards the backside of Laundry. It's another 3-man hit through mid for London. Here we go. You're about to be blown wide open, Thieves. TJ on the flank once again. Venom, nice pinch. Nice work from Venom. The trades are going to be there. PaulEhx gets involved. Seany now watching the back as well. It's Seany from jungle side, trying to deal the damage onto the bomb carrier Slasher. It's a 2v3 situation right now, but you got London trying to take this by the scruff of the neck. The wide open B-bomb site right now for the LA Thieves, should they decide to back on up, and I believe the bomb carrier was. It's going to be Slasher making his way there now. DJ and Kenny just trying to watch the flank, make sure no one gets through. London, slight reposition now from Paul and Seany. The shot call is on. They're going to try to make the aggressive play. No pick to be had from Paul. Chance they're going to go all the way around the back.
And you got the bomb planner for top Laundry. You're going to have to win so many long-range gunfights and just gun these players out of the power positions to have any hope of getting the defuse. And frankly, running out of time, you got to make this happen quickly.
It was 30 seconds on the clock a moment ago, and now Paul's made his way behind it. Kenny, wide open. Great shots from Kenny. Good defensive hold. 20 left on the clock. Not a chance. LA Thieves. What a decision to turn back and grab the bomb. Go for the plant there. A wonderful round on the board.
And Venom maybe got robbed just a little bit for the best play. He was the one that picked up the 2-piece with the bait from TJ back Laundry, but much better job of just being decisive, trying to get that control. He was taking advantage of the life advantage that they had. Perfect setup towards the end for the post-plant positioning as well. Definitely more of what you expect, even though things get dicey, because I did like the 4-man stack for back Laundry for the Ravens on the attempted retake. Of course, an attempt was the only thing that they had. Middle map control, by the way. Thieves again with complete control. Noise made over towards B. Venom gets picked off in the bomb. Looks like it's going to go down for free. First bloods right now for the Ravens, just running amok, and well, they have not been clutched on yet. They have been on point. They get that life lead.
And he catches a swimming Dylan. DJ from stairs trying to push Paul back. This is an opportunity to go. Slasher finds his pick as well. This should be a good retake. It's all on Seany. Seany versus Slasher manages to win it. Kenny's got eyes on. The tags are there. Easy kills. Zed now makes his way through the bottom of the stairs. Makes the shots on the Kenny. Finds the kill. It's a 1v1. Zed all slips out with his life. TJ, eyes on the stairs. Zed, can he win another big round? Runs for it, but not enough time. TJ should be able to get back with just over a second to spare. The Iceman strikes again. Great job.
Oh, big kills from him as well. He wanted to take that gunfight, obviously necessary for him. Zed just trying to run away. And frankly, that's a round Ravens, I think, will look back and just trying to figure out where is Dylan swimming to, I would say is the big question. I don't know if Slasher from back Tiki was able to put some shots in, but gets completely caught out. And for a team that's been on point with their trades, on point with the man advantage, well, a quick way to throw that away. Thieves found themselves down 4-0. Working on this comeback. The attack, that bomb go towards B. Actually, I take that back. They double it up. Now they're stacking over towards bedroom. They're playing for picks pretty heavy this round.
Pretty heavy indeed. Seany might have caught a shoulder there. He may have seen someone. I just feel at this point, I mean, LA Thieves, they've been trained to worry about the 3-man push from the Ravens, and the 2-2 split is going to give you some opportunity there to maybe get the kills, but Zed. Oh, hello. That's a lot of damage. Has to back on up. Does have teammates in the middle to help him out. It's going to be Dylan. Nice nade. They are trying to catch Zed while weak, but no, Zed will live. First blood goes the way of Paul. Over by that B-bomb site. He's going to reposition. Kenny now. Great tags on the run. Can't quite get away from it as Paul will meet his maker in this 3v3 now chance. London with a slight reshuffle.
And keep in mind, Sasha right now is potentially to make the big play because he's got the cutoff through mid because Ravens have effectively doubled flank. There's the play from Sasha, catches him complete left guard. And his teammates, by the way, I was going to say talk about decisive. I think they're going to try to work themselves over towards the A site, but they are running out of time and they are in the middle of a pinch. I mean, you got what? Zed and Seany working on opposite sides of the map, and Zed able to catch that bomb planner before it goes down. Catches Slasher as well. Now Kenny's in between two, and he gets ripped. The instant 2v3 clutch from the Ravens, getting the job done and taking a sizable lead. As you can see, the timing perfect, and the bomb plant spot a little bit less so. You think the Thieves had an opportunity, but with the time on the clock, they couldn't get the job done. Nice little bounce back round. 2 clutches in a row. And for Zed, well, you see the 10 kills he's got again. Not too shabby of a game he is having right now.
Not at all. Great timing. It was a weird play there. I suppose he had defenders on either side of the map, but they managed to make that pinch over towards A fantastically. Aggressive round now. Oh, boy!
Oh, hello.
It's an aggressive start indeed. He manages to land 2 members of London. Seany and Dylan now in a little bit of trouble. Dylan, at the very least, is going to be able to get a single kill now to make things a little bit easier for them. But TJ, eyes on the cross. Not going to let those players make it over towards the outside of the ring, over towards that B-bomb. LA Thieves fully stacked up towards pillars. This should be a kill from TJ. Oh, nice dodge from Dylan. So with that, oh dear, now the guessing games begin. Do we stay on towards B or do London go all the way over towards A? This is going to be the shot call. Seany playing the rear guard. You see those players? They may decide to make the bomb go out, but look, it looks like Thieves have guessed something. Oh, Seany finds himself too. Oh my word. The Thieves have second-guessed it, and in that, they've cost them their lives. It's a 2v1 with 30 seconds remaining chance. This could well be it. Dylan, eyes are on. Seany's going to surely get the tags in. TJ, with the ego chow, manages to land the shots. Now it's a 1v1. This is to keep the Thieves in it. And TJ, no! Can't land the shots. Dylan will close it out, and it's a 6-2. Ravens will take the series now 2-0. One more map's all they need. Another 3-0.
Well, I think the Thieves might have won the first map, if I recall. I think they clutched up towards the end.
I'm sorry.
I'm with you. It certainly feels that it has been going that way. I agree with the sentiment. It feels like Ravens have been doing whatever they want, but in fact, Thieves did clutch up at least for map number 1. I will say though, I mean, pathetic, maybe too strong of a word, but just a pretty horrid performance coming out of Thieves. You open that round with a effective collateral from Kenny with the Crimsix, and you find a way to throw it away. I don't know if Thieves are in their head as a team, if it's a communication thing or what's going on, but I mean, there's just so many rounds that just should not be crumbling the way they are. But hey, I mean, if you're a London fan, taking full advantage of any opportunity that the Thieves have been handing you, I suppose it's just about clutching up in those respawns and the Ravens will be good to go. Full
disclosure, my wife brought a sandwich into the room towards the end of that map, and I was like, thank you. 2-0, what? No, sorry, my bad. It's 1-1 in the series. This should be... I'm so sorry, friends. We've got a US Army tactical play coming up in just a moment. I'm having too much fun. We've got Checkmate Control coming up after this, but first, our US Army tactical play. And yeah, man, it was decisive, to say the least. Chance, walk us through this one.
Trying to remember round 2. I know it's Ravens getting the win. Oh, this was the round where every single player is just getting picked and like no one's shooting back. And this is another, by the way, 2v3, man advantage. Venom gets picked. He's not shooting back. I think PaulEhx falls by Slasher. Oh, yeah. Paul probably didn't shoot back. And then for Zed, again, they know he's back laundry. He had 30 seconds to work with as well before he needed to fuse the bomb. And Zed, of course, is forced to come out and check. Well, what do these players do? Well, there's a challenge. Slasher doesn't hit a bullet. TJ with the follow-up doesn't hit a bullet. Zed saying, thank you very much. I'll take the clutch. I'll take the momentum. And a nice double-digit game from him in game number 2.
We saw some good stuff all round from in terms of clutches in that one. That was a lot of fun to watch back. And it's not 2-0, it's 1-1. I'm sorry, a little bit of bias maybe slipped through there. But here we go, friends. We're going to throw this to a very quick commercial break, and then we return. It is time to go back to Checkmate. It's time to go to Control, and it's time to find out who takes the lead in this series.
Call of Duty League is brought to you by GameFuel. Use code CDL2021 for a special discount on GameFuel.com. Tournament audio and team listen-ins are powered by Astro Gaming, the official headset and mix amp of the Call of Duty League.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. We're tied up 1-1 in the series, but before that, we got snapbacks, strapbacks, and knits. Get ready to rep your squad with all new CDL headgear collection available exclusively at Mitchell and Ness. Sweet lids, if ever I've seen them. I've seen some lids in my time, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you that. A couple of lids on screen right there. There you go. Slasher rocking one of his very own. But here we go into our next match. Not too far away from this one. It's going to be a checkmate control. We are tied up 1-1 in the series, despite the fact that this commentator lost his damn mind in that last one. We're going to look at Venom versus PaulEhx, former teammates. This is from this series just today. So Venom making his debut in the CDL so far. He was absolutely crucial, chancing that victory in the first checkmate hardpoint. But so far, you know, not too bad whatsoever.
Well, I was going to say, I think really just what the stats show, obviously for Venom, it is literally only 2 games that he's played so far. It was just a search and destroy from the Thieves that just did not look good pretty much from start to finish. But the hard point, again, the clutch factor is the most important thing. Not sure what's going on with this Thieves team in terms of the clutch factor, comms, whatever it's going to be. They sort of seem like they're just in their heads to me. Maybe it's just a raid thing where they're now 1-4, excuse me. But hey, at the very least, the silver lining, you found yourselves in a hole on the checkmate hard point that you dug yourselves out of. So there's certainly a light at the end of the tunnel there. And well, fist bumps are out. You know map 3 is loading. And frankly, for either of these teams, you know Raven's doing the ritual. You know what Shane wanted him to say, try to get that job done just for the bounce back.
You know what they're saying.
Show going.
You know what they're saying. I'm not going to say it again, but I was going to ask Seany to get back on camera, lad. Like, what's going on there? Everyone in the Thieves looking clean, looking ready to roll. London now, odd to drop. Into map 3 we go. Checkmate control. Don't see too many of these. You do in league play. You don't see too many of these in the league. We got quite a broad selection of maps, and everyone seems to be enjoying themselves. Again, vetoes are all done. We love seeing those on broadcast. We hope that you do as well. And into the next map we go. Excited, keen, maybe slightly tense. A lot of the fans, and I know the LA Thieves fans have seen socials already. Nadeshot's even threatening a comeback. God help us all. Here we go.
I believe he goes by Mr. Shot now.
Mr. Shot, I like that. Well, off to the off to an explosive start. Is going to be London. They find their first 3 kills. And the aggression already mounting. Dylan is well and truly in the back line. Maybe a little too aggressive. Zed on the left flank. Can't quite catch it either. So, LA Thieves, they answer the volley. Now back off to the push to the front lines. Seany slows things down somewhat. Venom making his way through that blue side. Over on the right, a couple of tags. TJ's going to hopefully now be able to tickle the center of the ring. Knowing full well you got players out there. But oh, there goes the defense. Zed finds his kills. Venom answers back, and chance, it is back and forth. Quite the rally so far between London and LA.
I'll bet in London, they just need to play corners. They just had a literal perfect opening break, and both SMG players just taking gunfights as quickly as possible. Slow it down just a little bit, you'll be good to go, but maybe not, because once anyone from Thieves tries to get near the middle of the map, they get eviscerated straight out of it. Paul, by the way, 7-1 for him on a 4 spree, and screw the corners, play the aggression, get all up in the mix. Well, Paul is maybe going to fall, but you can see, at least right now for the Thieves, just stuck all the way in their base.
They haven't managed to get onto the contest just yet, and Zed in from behind. This could be devastating. Pick of the Krig now able to find a few more. His teammates are making this look great. The clock is being burnt out. Oh, no! Hey. Oh, Zed, sweet child of mine. The kills are there. The clock is ticking, and that was an incredibly decisive round from the Ravens.
I will go out on a limb and say that is the fastest round of checkmate control we have seen so far this year. That is ridiculous. I think I said what? Hey, play some corners. Slow it down for half a second. Ravens doing the smart thing. Completely ignore my advice. They just flew at the Thieves. We had Seany in the feed picking up kills with the AK-74U. We had PaulEhx in the feed and on camera picking up kills with the AK-74U. They just lived in the base of the LA Thieves. I mean, that was just absolutely ridiculous. That lasted, was it a minute?
I think it was
a minute and 20 seconds.
Yeah, so no one managed to land the contest, I believe. No one got on.
Yeah, a minute and a half.
No one got on the point.
Yeah, that was a minute and 40 seconds.
That was it.
Insane.
That was wild, man. What a fast round that was. Still, let's see what the Thieves can now bring on defense. Checkmate, a very, I suppose, defense, favorable map. You can hit those aggressive plays quite comfortably. But you know what? Let's just go for it now. Let's have a quick Astro Gaming listen in with the London Royal Ravens.
Tower cross, one shot dead. One off what?
Back door. Stay down, Vicky.
He dropped. One on the cross. I'm sitting on A.
Watching it across.
You ramp P5 and watch it.
Tower, I'm weak.
Get kills.
I'm playing that, pretty sure.
Hey, the ramp P5 dead. I want to P5. I push it one more, go P5. Focus the cap, focus the cap.
Come over half wall, Carlos dead.
Yeah, I'm winning.
P5 dead.
Flash your plane,
Could be along.
Top point flasher dead.
Help him pay.
Yo, backstairs. Where he's going, play?
I fucking mantled.
Alright, that was
In plane, I think.
Priestahh stay.
Yeah, I'm flying.
Watch your med.
Top point dead, one's under plane. No more top point of me.
I've been switch ball,
Dead.
Let's go, man. Come on.
I run this shit, baby.
Shot.
I don't really know what to say. This is disgusting, Chance. You heard the comms. Paul was more worried about the fact that he mantled on the left wing than the fact that he picked up that ridiculous string of kills we're looking at now.
I mean, this is ridiculous. I have a rule. Anytime I'm playing on controlling this map and I see someone on defense go up top red, I'm like, oh, this is going to be free. I'm never going to lose to that. Well, I saw Slasher go up there, and sure enough, if you're getting bullied out that bad, that's the power position you're looking to take, things are not going well. The entire team right now of the Ravens currently going on a spree. Frankly, streaks do not matter. They have no care in the world. Unless Thieves have a strong opening break here. I mean, they are just being suffocated.
Oh, Paul, can we get a task manager check? Like, this guy is having a map. 13 and 2. 6 in a row, and I think it's only going to get more dangerous. Thieves trying to push forward, trying to find something. You got Seany finding kills as well in the feed. Paul almost getting it done from the back line. Kenny's going to answer back. Nice job. Here comes Venom and TJ finding their kills, but traded out immediately. Ravens' trades right now are absolutely brilliant. Nothing is getting through right now for the LA Thieves. Slash is going to make his way over towards A. A kill would help here, but Dylan's going to gun him. The trade's not there. The kills are still flying through. The Ravens win their ones. And with that, TJ, he is in a tough spot. A massive win there against Zed Chance. But, oh, baby. LA Thieves are certainly struggling here against the Ravens.
Zed's like, is he shooting windmills? Like, I don't even know. Like, Zed has been having a phenomenal performance. TJ is gunning him, but it just doesn't make a single bit of difference. The SMGs rampaging, right? Everyone from right now for the Ravens, just doing whatever they want on the map. Again, the Thieves find themselves just stuck in their spawn, which granted, it's checkmate, it's expected, but they can accomplish nothing on the map. This is shaping up to be the fastest checkmate control potentially we have had all year.
Well, no one's able to get the contest. It's done, mate. Dylan's going to finally drive these little stakes into the coffin. That is it, mate. It's done. It's over. No one has a single chance here. What an incredibly decisive 3-0 there on control. Just roll the next one. We're way ahead of schedule, boys. We're way ahead of schedule. Let's just get into the next map. What? I cannot believe this. The Ravens have already gone. They're out. What the hell, man? What was that control?
Maybe just one player right before the map started was like, hey, I didn't go to the bathroom. I really gotta go. Can we speed this thing up? I don't know. That was completely insane. And I will say, we talked about checkmate being defense heavy, but in my mind, if a map's not purely 50-50, that just means there's somewhat of a skill gap, right? If it's difficult to win offenses, that is a puzzle to solve. You gotta figure out a way to get the wins. Well, the Ravens just did that and won a round on offense in what, like 45 seconds a minute? It is insane. It is a map with somewhat of a skill gap in Thieves. Feeling the pressure. What, almost quad negative for Slasher. I mean, Kenny got 3 and 13. They just got bullied in the control. And if it were not for the massive comeback that they had in the hardpoint, this would have been one of the hottest 3-0s that we have had all year long. So shout out to the checkmate hardpoint for the Thieves, keeping them alive in the series. But I tell you, Miles, they do not look like they are alive.
That's not a happy place to be for the Thieves right now. The real test in this series is, do they have the resolve or the mental acuity to pull this one back? This is going to be a tough test for them now. We're going to Moscow. We're going to their hometown. The red one, they want to big this one big. They want to go all the way, baby. Will we see a game 5? Or will it end right here? Let's find out after the break. Call of Duty League. We are now coming into map number 4 here in this incredibly fast series. Feels like it's barely begun and we're already looking at map 4. LA Thieves managed to take a very crucial and exciting comeback on the checkmate hardpoint, but since then it has been all London. Now we go to the Moscow hardpoint. Their pick. Will they be able to turn this one around? Chance this is going to be an essential win thus far for the LA Thieves. Looking overall at our Moscow hardpoints in the season, this is this season already, and LA, they look to be a lot stronger overall.
And this actually cracked me up. This is about a month ago when I was looking at like hill times, which teams are good at what. I literally thought the Ravens on P2, I thought there was a glitch in the system. So I hit up our stats guy and I was like, there's no way. Turns out, yeah, they're actually one of the best P2 teams in the game. And this was the Ravens team that were like never winning hardpoints, and they are still finding that level of success on a consistent basis. Granted, a ton of roster moves have happened since then from the earlier days, so not too sure what to expect out of the Ravens here. But say for the Thieves, though, it has been a strong map for them. Even when they're losing, it is tight games. This is not the time to find another loss. This is an incredibly important moment, I would say, for this team, Miles.
It's been a good map for the Thieves, but when the Thieves had a slightly different roster. Who knows, though, if the core, if the DNA of the squad is still there strong enough to maintain that dominance here on Moscow. But with that being said, it may be all smiles for the Ravens, but now for the LA Thieves, it is crunch time. Time to go big, not let this series go any further. Or will London be able to add the other side of LA to that little black book of theirs? Let's find out.
Miles, more importantly, is Seany standing up?
I don't know. Is he standing?
Does he stand up when he plays? That would be, I mean, there's no way.
Unless he's, maybe.
Chair.
Maybe, unless he's like scooshing. Is he scooshing along the floor? Or if he's, we'll have to ask Shane. Shane, send us a DM. Does Seany play standing? Is that his secret? Yeah. Is he got a standing desk? Wow. Things you learn. Speculations here in the CDL. Answers on a postcard. Into Moscow we go. Another rainy day here in this big old red city. Moskva to the Russians. Moscow to me, and Moscow to some folks in some parts of America. It's not all of them, but here we go, mate. And it's the first hard point right off the rip. The contests are already there. You're seeing the nades back and forth, but who will win the opening bout? And already we're seeing Venom, the LA Thieves, managed to make that push through, trying to get spawns for next.
And I like the play from Venom too, just going on that sort of late flank wraparound to Eskies. I hate when it happens to me, but it works off there, at least for getting the Eskies clearance. But Zed has just been hanging out this entire time inside the point. He is feeling no pressure, no motivation to challenge at all. And frankly, this is a Mexican standoff in the middle of P1.
Yep, you got guns on us, we got guns on you. No one's willing to make the move. Finally, someone breaks it, and TJ, oh man, he was going aggro there. You did manage to get a bit of time for the LA Thieves, but London managed to win the war of the trades, and now on to Seany. This is going to be a big push. He's eyes on many players. Oh, what a nade from TJ. On to Dylan now. Can he catch any of these players on the transition? Doesn't even win the gunfight in the middle. So, LA Thieves, all 4 members up and about, trying to make the charge through mid. They're going to get a few seconds of hardpoint time on their way. Restock, fuel up, make the push. Paul's going to land the shots, though. The mighty Krig of PaulEhx rings out down that long street. Seany backing him up as well. And this is a nice defensive hold. London have the point now, but here comes the pinch from the Thieves.
And frankly, not even just the pinch. They're actually inside the point as well. They are bullying them out. Seany right now trying to be the hero of the squad, but they get wiped immediately. You go from the team that, again, one of the best P2 teams in the game. Thieves, though, take full advantage, and more importantly, TJ, well, he is getting close to some streaks. He does get dropped, but hey, good news is you secured the money hill. Oh, this is the one attempted an attack from the Ravens.
Yep, they're going to do it through mid. Dylan, oh wow, lands it from Slasher. Those shots were ridiculous. Dylan almost able to get the second on the Venom, but not able to have it. Rotation's already on the way. London are going to spawn more in the center of the map, and it's a very long and arduous journey now for the LA Thieves to get towards that next hard point. Still, decent production there on the second, as the stats have foretold us. Shout out, Tyler. Love your work. Dylan now watching that push through open street. Timing is incredible. He's just let 2 players slip by. Oh, hello. There's one. Oh, no, I'm being shot in the back. Dylan managing to take one with him. Now over to Zed. Trying to lock down this side of the map. And again, look at the push from the Thieves' chance. Are they going to end up going through the front? No, it looks like a full hit towards the back. Ball's in the right place at the right time, but Slasher too strong. Kenny now find the kills as well. Dylan, he just about lands those 2 kills. And that's going to slow the push down for good. Thieves have got to now rethink this one. Oh, Dylan, such an annoying player. 3 kills in a row for him now. Massive work. The push now from the front for LA.
Oh, and this is actually interesting. They might be able to get some of this scrap time. It is Seany basically by himself, and he gets ripped. You see the triple challenge coming through. And honestly, right now from the Thieves, I actually like that play call. Looks like he got the gunfight towards the end as well that Kenny wins. If they had tried to rotate, they would have been giving up 30 full seconds for free. Instead, they fight from the front, make a good read, and they actually are going to have the lead going into new. Admittedly, it might be somewhat of a 3v4, but actually, you see Kenny, he might be able to work the late pinch as the bully's coming out the rat room. This is very well played so far by the Thieves.
Yeah, well, because you're such wonderful Call of Duty League fans, we're going to treat you to another listen-in. Let's go for it. It's time now for an Astra Gaming listen-in with the LA Thieves.
I'm looking at bank stairs.
Sorry, man. They can be in gold. They can be in gold. I'm just flipping gold. Gold on me, PaulEhx. Oh, one shot gold.
Oh, there's 2. I made Yo, 2 pillars.
I need pillars.
Let
me go.
Right. Okay.
I can look at it.
2 rats at a time.
Back pillar, Seany. Absolutely.
2 rats at a time.
I'm looking at it. One shot. I can't stand me. PaulEhx.
On the bus.
One shot, PaulEhx. He's on the car.
PaulEhx, absolute. Back right, Dylan. One shot. Finishing rat.
Okay. On time.
Go new.
I'm getting in. Nice shit. In the bus. I'm getting to him. I'm getting to him.
I'm playing gold.
Okay.
I don't see him old. Might be laying down rat. At least two old.
Yo, one could be mid right
now.
They could go new.
Close to us.
I'm pitching gold, dude.
One shot by yourself. One time. There's 2 SPs.
Nice.
18 kills. Nice. iLLeY left cross. You can stay now.
Yeah, I'm chaining.
Deep street.
I'm pushed up.
iLLeY left cross.
Well, there was the regain listen in. We're hearing the LA Thieves managed to pull this one back. Slight lead to be had here on Moscow. Chance, what do you make of the comms?
Well, I mean, the comms are good. In all honesty, that was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen.
Oh.
They just double teammated somehow instead of trying to get the break the rescue. So I do not know what just happened to the Ravens, but obviously massive turnaround. I would say from the control, somewhat of a weird moment. But Kenny, nice gunfight win on the back. That is setting his team up long term. And well, you see the idea from the Ravens. They want nothing to do with P1. They are working very hard for this rotation. Kenny, well, he's going to be here first. With so long to go, Dylan actually, he found a way to get through.
Slip through, does get dropped by Kenny. Once again, Kenny, crucial kills there on point. Will be eventually traded, but still over to PaulEhx now, trying to find the top of the police department, top of PD, as we like to call it in league play. And he's still, TJ still downstairs. Nice shots from Paul, and make it safe. Now, Any. Over towards their second point. Nice shots. The crossfire coming through from the Ravens. They will be able to get some control here. A decent chunk of time to be had before the LA Thieves can really get in a position to start to contest this. 2 players coming through the top side of the map. 2 now making their way through mid. And Zed's made the read here. TJ, no way he's going to check that. Kenny's going to have to check it though, but Zed knows these players are coming. What a run from Zed. Nice set of kills. That's 4 in a row overall. Wonderful stuff. Ravens going to hold that one down. Zed's on a 5 spree now. Rotation's underway.
And again, that is just a picturesque look at the play style of Zed, right? Pick a ratted corner, play around it, feed your teammates the information of like, look, I got the side door and the back window of laundry, your street's open. He had his teammate in police watching that for him. And it's just one guy sort of orchestrating the map, making sure his teammates are on point, and now trying to orchestrate his teammates to get him streaks. Obviously, this is a money hill. They're more concerned right now about getting Zed the kills, and then the break is going to be free.
Well, here comes the push, and the investment was worthy. Zed lands the kills. That's going to be 6 in a row. Slasher now watching the back end. Oh my god, the timing. Oh, the timing. London could be in. You still have TJ watching the back as well, and here comes the comms. Slasher dips straight back out, stops the spree of Zed, charges forward, stops the run of Paul as well. Slasher, what a push that was. Magnificent comms and great teamwork from LA. The kills keep coming through, and the Ravens, though, they're not quite done yet. They're going to flood the back. Here they come, smashing their way right through the middle of the alleyway. Zed's going to find 2. Zed can't get any more. It's a 2-piece there from Venom. Oh, baby. It is relentless aggression from either side. The Ravens will be slayed out. They will spawn in bank though, chance. But the LA Thieves are certainly starting to pull away this one.
Oh, absolutely. And by the way, just massive gunfight wins from Slasher, right? You shut down the streaks from Zed, you secure the rotation as well. And they're honestly good communication too. They knew that Dylan was back here. Despite that, still wins the first gunfight, still trying to finesse around this pillar. And you see Dylan just buying all the time in the world. But of course, while this is going on, split spawns are coming through. He wins the one on Slasher, but his teammates don't quite have the hill clearance. You see actually Seany going on late flanks. These have been on point with the awareness, but they can't find the kills. And Ravens, well, they're certainly thinking about that comeback. Still, though, down by about 40 points. Miles, I tell you, they're working on it.
They're working on it. This is not an easy hard point to get the job done on by any stretch of the imagination. Here comes the push now from the LA Thieves. They managed to clean up the players on back bus. All's going to be up next. Nice shots. Good crossfire. London find the first 3 kills. TJ's the last player left alive. We are going to see spawns there towards the back of the bank. Paul could potentially push this one out. You do already have London lined up for the next one. Paul with a far forward position, able to get tags into the players coming through from bus. And now a quick reshuffle keeps his opponents guessing. And this has been a very solid hold from the Ravens over by the boulevard. And chance once again back towards the center, back to the metro. Our tickets have been punched and we're now ready for this one. See what TJ can do on the opening.
These are the do or die moments as well. You see the fight for P1. TJ, nice wins. He has been like never losing gunfights. He is gunning people seemingly all series. In spite of that, obviously you see the success overall not quite there, but fighting for that lead, 20-point bump for the moment. You see Seany right now trying to keep the spawns for his team, and the pinch on P1 is there. Slasher, big gunfights for him to win. Again, just needing to stay alive towards back police. So far, so good for him, but his teammates, you see, trying to cross on the street, they are falling, and the comeback is in just from P1, but Slasher holding it down for the moment. You see his teammates able to wrap around, so Slasher going big for the spawns. But obviously, as far as that fight for the time goes, Ravens, great job, able to tie this game up.
Tying it all up. Here's the last-minute contest. Again, Thieves don't want this to go through. Doesn't want it to be any closer than it already is. TJ's, they're on point. Tricky spot to shoot those players through the glass. I'm not sure if anyone else knew that one, but it works. But here we go, towards the point, and it's Ravens. They've crossed over the 200-point mark. Better late than never to make the push. And here come Thieves. They're going to make the 3-man hit through the outside. It's on Dylan, though, to win that fight on the inside of the map, and Paul to win the fight on the inside. Oh, there's the shots. Dylan goes down. An open lane now to work with for the LA Thieves. Paul finds his kills from top PD. Kenny now making his way over towards the point, trying to make this as safe as he can. He just about survives, slips through. Paul in from behind, though. Raven's still on point. Raven's still holding this one down. Venom finally gets some of the slays, and that's going to be that chance. There you see LA Thieves flip it out for now. 20 seconds to be had on this one before the contests are there. My God, we are going down to the wire, my friend. Rotation's on.
I mean, this has been one of the strangest games of Moscow Hardpoint I think I have ever seen, but either way, it continues. Basically going to be a tied-up game going into Dew, and you see Zed has spawned out. The question for Thieves is, I don't know where they're going to be, if they're going to be turning, be prepared for this late flank. The fact that Zed just stood in the hill, Thieves should know they're trying to bully their way from the front. 2 players flying through, but again, they are still getting flanked.
Still getting flanked. Here comes Zed. Catches the slasher. Kenny, he goes down as well. Zed's managed to get on the point. The trophy's the biggest opportunity now to slow him down, and that's going to be enough. Can't quite even find it. The clock's still ticking. We are going to see 20 points now for the win for the London Royal Ravens. Dylan's still there on point. The attack now starting to build up from the LA Thieves. Venom in through the back line. Slasher's going to win the gunfights up front, and this is it. The chance to make one clean break. Final 10 points now for the win for London. You've got to go, Venom. This is the right time to get it done. He's shooting a ghost. 5 seconds for the win, but they're on the point chance. They cannot win it here. They have to hold every single moment. And for London now, surely the game plan is just to play for the next.
I was going to say, just set up a trap. If they feed you the kills, maybe you could fight for those final 5 seconds, but you are thinking desperately about the rotation. And, well, Kenny might be the interesting player because he's got the pinch set up for new. All 4 players right now for Ravens are going to be in and around bank. Kenny's trying to trap him in while his teammates work on the flip side. And, again, 5 seconds away for one team, 8 for another. It all comes down to this street hill, and Kenny's going to fall.
We saw the LA Thieves make the comeback on the first map, but now London, they're going to find these kills on point. One more player drops, and it's an open hard point. Kenny has to surge forward. TJ finally gets onto it. We're going to see 5 seconds now for the win for LA Thieves, but the guns are up. London gunning their way forward. There's Dylan with another kill, and still the contests are on point. Zed manages to win a big one, and with that, London will finally close it out as close as you like there on Moscow. It's a 3-1 overall. And my word, did the LA Thieves make it tight, but man, what a comeback it was.
You had a clutch performance on Moscow right there from the Ravens. If they had clutched up in map number 1, it would have been a 3-0. But either way, they get the job done with the new man on the team. PaulEhx 2-0 with the man on the roster. Got him feeling good, and I think honestly one of the most interesting part of it, their S&D looked dominant. Admittedly though, Thieves on the flip side, they just look so sloppy right now, man. That Moscow, I'm telling you, from start to finish, just completely strange on both sides of the table. Ravens happy for their win. PaulEhx showing out as well. 5K damage to his name, and Dylan right there with him. And well, on the flip side, not a lot of love to be had. Opportunities on both sides, but Ravens get the clutch towards the end. You can see just only half the team even present on camera. Well, Seany at least has a chair there, so I know he's sitting down, but just on performance, man. The team's trying to turn things around. They get a couple nice wins under their belt, and they are beating some teams that started out stage 1 very strong. Maybe you had to do some readjustments. The hype from Zed maybe a little bit too much out here, knocking the cameras over.
Oh boy, what a massive victory there for the London Royal Ravens as they continue their brand new campaign here in the league, with PaulEhx now bolstering the squad in a big way. Oh boy, 3-1. That's going to be the final score there, of course. London Royal Ravens versus LA Thieves. We will be looking at our Scuff play of the game in just a brief moment, but Chance, oh baby, I mean, it's a transformation. Our Scuff play of the game now on the screen. It's going to be the final few moments by the looks of things. I mean, LA Thieves, they did as much as they possibly could to set themselves up for the win, but London clutched up in the end.
And honestly, it was probably the nade kill on Kenny towards the end that really sort of seals the deal. But I'll say, even before this, right, we're seeing Slasher pick up 2 pieces to try to rotate to P2. Then I blink for a second, come back, and Ravens just break the hill seemingly for free. Like, there was so much weirdness that's going on in the game, but either way, the nade at the feet right there from Zed. You take down Kenny, the pinch is no longer that big of an issue. You get your time to win the gunfights inside the hill. And I'd say after this, admittedly, Thieves were making it tough, but only 2 points are needed to go, and you get the bank spawns. Eventually, Ravens were able to secure the dub, but just a tough game. I think both teams will go back to the drawing boards watching this one and just say, oh my God, what was going on?
Oh, there we go. That's going to be the end of it. What a play it was. Scuff player of the game there. And now we have a quick look at the Los Angeles Thieves. Again, Slasher is currently not present, but that one hurts. Now it's time to go over the tape and revisit that one. Again, nothing too dramatic there. I think that, of course, the raid search and destroy was a little bit too sloppy. I saw a lot of talk on the timeline about that one. Twitter is on fire right now, really letting us know that that one was a bit of a throw. But hey, we'll see how they go. A lot of work still left to be done here for the LA Thieves. Now, we will look at the London schedule because this stage is far from over. They've started this one out 2-0, which is exciting to see for the London fans, but it is still going to be a tough one before they can close this one out. New York Subliners up next. They're going to play Toronto Ultra after that, and then the big old final boss that is Atlanta FaZe on April 4th. And Chance, how do you fare the new London against the rest of the squads in the group now?
I remain unconvinced as far as like top teams go, right? I think there's like, obviously we need to see him play the Subliners. We got to see him play a team like FaZe, but in terms of positive takeaways, there's a ton of them, man. Like, the respawn was on point, the checkmate control that they just threw on the board. I mean, the rest of the league is gonna have to take a gander and see what was going on there, because they just have so many moments that are just ferocious, right? When Zed and Dylan start to go on a tear, they're a force to be reckoned with. So a lot to be seen still from the Ravens, but again, looking pretty good now.
We do see again those final two matches for Atlanta FaZe will be a tough one for the LA Thieves, and they go up against their old LA rivals, the Guerrillas, in the final match there on April 4th. And unbelievable stuff. But of course, our next home series, speaking of April, that's going to be the LA Guerrillas home series. We've got lovely aBeZy there on screen. Again, set that into your calendars, friends. 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific from April the 1st to the 4th. We cannot wait. And of course, major number 2 just around the corner. We are playing for the seeding going to that one. The first major was non-stop excitement. Loved the drama from start to finish. Of course, Atlanta walked away with a win there. Major number 2. Who's going to get it, baby? Is it going to be Atlanta again? Are you going to let those boys slippity slap you all across the bracket? Maybe. We'll find out, though. When we come back after the break, we will be seeing PaulEhx chatting to us all about that big old win as London get the 3-1 done. We'll be right back after this break.
The Call of Duty League is presented by Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. The US Army, what's your warrior? Hello everybody and welcome to your Game Fuel Victory Spotlight. I have the man everyone is talking about after that series, PaulEhx from the London Royal Ravens. Paul, first of all, welcome to the Call of Duty League. What an entrance you have made, my dude, from, right from the first game that you played with London Royal Ravens, getting them their first dub, now for the second dub, and the performance you have produced is just outstanding. What has it been like to join the Royal Ravens? how's the fit for you?
Honestly, coming into it, I was kind of nervous because, obviously I'm the only American joining a whole, European or, it's a whole different culture, right? So, coming into it, I was kind of nervous, but as soon as I landed, they literally treated me like their brother. And, I literally fitted in perfectly, and I just kind of, slotted in. So, coming onto this team, everything has been amazing so far.
Fantastic stuff. Well, we can definitely see something is working, that is for sure. You guys are gelling like no other, and we love it. I'll tell you what though, there are lots of talented rookies in the Call of Duty League at the moment, and lots more coming in to the league pretty quickly. We've actually been showing a graphic of all of our best rookies and their debuts and where they're at currently in the league, and we kind of have a little leaderboard going on, and I'm sure you're aware we do have a Rookie of the Year prize handed out at the end of the year. Are you feeling a little bit competitive with that leaderboard? Are you looking to be the best rookie that we have for the season?
I am. Actually, I just played against like my really good friend, Carlos, or Venom, that I've known for like 3 years. And as soon as we both got in the league, I literally told him like, I'm going to be the Rookie of the Year, I promise you. So me and him are going to be competing for it for sure this year.
I love that. That's the fire you need coming into it. I like the confidence, yeah. Paul, and you're certainly, you know, showing that in game. So we love it, man. Last question before I let you go, though. We have to quickly talk about that control game. What the hell happened? That was literally ridiculous. We've seen some fast control rounds, but I don't think we've seen a faster control game. How did you head into that one and finesse it the way you did?
I just honestly, like, I don't even know, to be honest. I literally just took over. I didn't even notice I only died 3 times. I was literally just holding down the plane like the entire rounds. Like every single round I was in the plane. I was just cutting them off spawn. So their lives were dropping really fast because like I was just killing them off spawn so they couldn't even move.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I think you outslayed them 50-19 or something silly like that. It was absolutely ridiculous. Keep up the momentum, dude. Absolutely incredible. Make sure you hydrate, guys. Look at that, PaulEhx hydrating. That's the key. That's the key to good Call of Duty. We appreciate you so much. Congratulations on a 2nd win in the league, of the Call of Duty League, and your 2nd game in total. So amazing stuff, Paul.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Lottie.
Well, there you have it, guys. We've heard from PaulEhx himself. He is unbelievable, and he's doing some incredible things for the London Royal Ravens. But next up, we have another battle on our hands. We do have 2 incredible teams battling out once again. NYSL take on LAG for another banger, and it's our last match of the day, so you don't want to miss it.
The Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G.
He slices, he dices. He's Tommy Zuma Paparazzo. and he's here to teach you everything you need to know about frying.
How you doing, guys? My name is Zuma. Most of you may know me from playing professionally in Call of Duty over the years, or maybe from my recent podcast, The Flank. I'm here to tell you guys, the viewers, that you have an opportunity to train with me in this week's T-Mobile 5G weekly drop. You know, I'll give you guys some tips and tricks on how to fry a little bit in Call of Duty, or I can teach you how to fry in the kitchen. You know, I have been practicing a little bit in the kitchen. You know, I'm like an Italian Gordon Ramsay. I've been learning a little bit from Mama Zuma, you know what I'm saying? So it's up to you. Just make sure to text TMO Zuma to 313131 for a chance to fry with me. Have a good day, guys.
Text TMO Zuma to 313131 for a chance to fry with the Stallion. That's TMO Zuma to 313131. Don't wait.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. Don't forget to text TMO Zuma to 313131. Whether you want to fry in Cold War, whether you want to fry in the kitchen, advice on the flanks, or advice on how to, you know, whatever this one is, the Salt Bay, you know. Whatever it may be, friends, text TMO Zuma to 313131. Cannot wait to see. I always want to know what he talks about with folks. Like, people are like, what up, Zuma? You're the goat, baby. I love you, baby. Now, let's talk about my stakes. That's what I want to know if they're so disgusting. But here we go. We've got one more series today for you boys and girls, and it's sure to be a D-Light. We've got the New York Subliners, NYSL, going up against the Los Angeles Guerrillas. Now, this should be a fun one, and I've done this enough. Let's just get to these teams. Let's meet NYSL.
Don't let us down. Bring home a championship. Not one, not two, maybe 3 or 4.
Yo, Clayster, you don't bring home the championship, you out of here, boy.
Hey, if there's one thing about the city that I understand, it's that they don't tolerate losing.
He's in from behind again. Clayster with 2.
So I'm bringing championships. We're bringing them by the dozen.
Just make sure the snipes is hitting. Headshots only. Anything higher than the headshot is uncivilized.
What a Zuma is? Zoom? He's on Zoom meeting?
The Stallion is frying. The Stallion is cooking.
Not quite what I was thinking.
You guys gonna kill it out there.
Good luck this season.
Thank you guys so much. This season's for y'all.
Subliners, way to go. New York's behind you 100%.
We're bringing a championship to New York City.
Well, last time we had the New York Subliners grace our screens, we saw that incredibly exciting series against the LA Thieves. Can they keep the metal? Can they keep the ice? Will they be able to go all the way? Asim, Clayster, Diamondcon, and Mack. Actually, chance I talked to Diamondcon about a nickname. I'll get to that in a moment. I'm very excited to see where this series goes. We'll talk about it later, mate. But how do you feel about NYSL today?
Oh, I felt great coming in. Now I'm just way more interested in the nickname. This is unexpected for me, but I mean, this is a team that probably 3rd best in the game right now, depending on how much you value stage 1 in the tournament performance, but clearly towards the top, clearly capable of clutching. The reverse sweep last week against the LA Thieves proves that. And it's just a team, it feels like that, like, if you can just get them to make more consistently smart plays, right? Occasionally they get lose the 2v4s on Moscow, but if you kind of get everyone on the same page as Clayster, this team is a force to be reckoned with. They have been incredibly entertaining to watch. And frankly, I mean, they have no bad game modes, no bad moments. They're a ton of fun, Miles. They really are.
We love fun here in the Call of Duty League, but there's no fun for a moment. It's going to be strictly business as I get ready to introduce our next team. Hailing from the other side of Los Angeles. Can they do LA some right today? Let's find out. Time to meet the Los Angeles Guerrillas.
Getting it done. I'm loving what I'm seeing out of the LAG. Silly finds the first. Lovely teamwork.
My God. Dealt with the pressure inside the hill and the double nade from aBeZy.
Salt lines him up, finds himself too.
Vivid just has the one to win against Octane.
And Vivid has got his number. Beautiful round. Fantastic execution from the LA Guerrillas.
Oh, yeah.
The Los Angeles Guerrillas, chance. I mean, if New York's a fun team, Guerrillas, I mean, they've had their moments, man, where they are the true lives of the party. And then every now and then they're the guys in the corner who are not exactly enjoying themselves and just wish they could go home. But who do you think we're going to get today, my friend?
Well, I would say Guerrillas have been fairly consistent. They're honestly just a really interesting team. Again, their teamwork is usually pretty good. and they have some great moments, but they also have a couple sort of holes in their gameplay, right? Like they are the worst, for example, offensive team in control by quite a bit. They've only won 11% of their offensive rounds, 2-16 record in that regard. Their S&D is strong, but then the respawns, I mean, I think inconsistent is probably just the best word. They have good performances on occasion, but they never seem to really hit their stride. Even within the series, sometimes, again, inconsistency in my mind is sort of the main flaw for the team. But hey, when they're on point, they are a force to be reckoned with. And there's, well, honestly, not really many better teams than NYSL to try to prove yourself against.
Got to prove yourself against in a good way. And again, they've still got a long road ahead of them here in this stage before we get into major number 2. But that's the look at the maps and modes. Checkmate Moscow, checkmate to get things going. Garrison Express, should we need them? But here we have it. Loading into map number 1. NYSL looking to continue the run, see if LAG can pull this one back and get some smiles across those faces. We now roll into checkmate chance. Let's get it.
Right into checkmate and right into a map where, again, we talk about New York every single time, their willingness to pull out extra ARs on separate hills. So clearly they are willing to be very comfortable on this map, do whatever needs to be done. New York had quite a bit of success, so it's important for the Guerrillas, man. If they're able to take down this map number 1, hell of a way to start the series. But Clayster, obviously the man to watch. You talk about the MVP for the team, and frankly, one of the best players in the game right now. He really has been an absolute maniac.
They do be the facts. Asim, playmaker now for NYSL, up on top. And wow, what a nice kill for there from aBeZy. I really thought he had his number. Clay's still alive out here on the wing. Silly's going to try to change that. Oh no, Silly didn't see it. There we go, Clay. Ew, in and about he goes. Just about dropped there from aBeZy. And again, we saw checkmate in the previous series as well. Of course, LA Thieves making that big old comeback. I wonder if we'll see something similar here as the Guerrillas start this one off very well. Over to Silly now, cleaned up. And it will be NYSL with a hill for the time being.
This is honestly a very nice job done by NYSL, I'd say, right? They get bullied off the opening break. You got players from Guerrillas pouring a ton of pressure over towards that next hill, but they end up clearing out the plane, making sure they're able to stabilize for P2. It'll be looking like Guerrillas are going to have roughly a 20-point lead potentially going into new. These gunfights, though, very important just to try to get that clearance. Vivid doing a nice job of staying alive. You see he wants to work with his teammates as they start to push towards this new hill.
Oh, I see how much damage you can do from this position. I was going to say Asim should be able to get that trade immediately. New York with spawns, the right-hand side of the map all covered. aBeZy cleaving his way through the center of the map before he meets the Clayster. On board with Diamondcon now. DC, if you will, Diamond or Con to his teammates. He will go by any of these things.